Caitlin Clark released a statement yesterday, as well as the Indiana Fever, about the end of her season.
Caitlin Clark has never been just another rookie in the WNBA. From the moment she stepped onto the floor, she became the league's biggest storyline, its ratings magnet, its top draw, and its most polarizing figure. But now, after months of being sidelined with injuries and relentless physical play, Caitlin has finally broken her silence, and her words have sent shockwaves through the basketball world. What was supposed to be a routine update about her recovery has turned into a crossroads moment not just for her career, but for the future of the WNBA itself. Yesterday, Caitlin Clark officially confirmed that she intends to return to the Indiana Fever next season. But this wasn't a simple "see you next year" type of statement. Instead, Caitlin used her platform to issue a challenge, a warning shot aimed directly at the league that has both celebrated and failed her. She made it crystal clear, her loyalty to the WNBA comes with conditions, and unless real changes are made, her future may lie elsewhere. That single announcement has unleashed a firestorm of speculation. Fans are buzzing, analysts are dissecting every word, executives are scrambling in back rooms, desperate to figure out how to keep the player who has become the very face of their league. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just speak, she leveraged her power. And in doing so, she put the entire WNBA on notice. When reporters asked her about the bruises, the flagrant fouls, and the endless physical targeting she endured during her rookie campaign, Caitlin didn't mince words. She looked into the cameras and said something that stopped everyone cold. "If they bully me, mock me, or injure me again, I won't stay." Those words weren't just frustration boiling over. They were a declaration of war on a league that has failed to protect its brightest star. Caitlin knows her value. She knows that arenas sell out because of her. She knows that TV ratings spike every time she plays. And she knows that if she walked away tomorrow, the WNBA's momentum would take a devastating hit. That's leverage, and Caitlin Clark is finally willing to use it. Throughout her first season, Caitlin absorbed more punishment than any rookie in recent memory. Opponents swarmed her on every possession, screens turned into tackles, drives to the rim turned into wrestling matches, and referees swallowed their whistles far too often. To her fans, it felt like the league wasn't just failing to protect her, they were allowing her to be the target. And now, with her health on the line and her patience wearing thin, Caitlin is saying, enough is enough. But here's what makes this even more explosive. Caitlin isn't bluffing. She has options, real, lucrative options. In the same press conference, Caitlin revealed that she has already received multi-million-dollar offers from top European basketball clubs. And we're not talking about second-tier leagues, we're talking about Spain, Turkey, Italy. The very leagues that have been pouring resources into attracting global talent and building super teams that rival the NBA in passion and attendance. These offers aren't just about bigger checks, though they often double or even triple WNBA salaries. They also include perks the WNBA simply can't match: shorter schedules, lighter travel demands, and a commitment to protecting star players from unnecessary physical abuse. For a player like Caitlin, who has already endured months of hard fouls and questions about longevity, the appeal is obvious. Imagine Caitlin Clark dominating in Europe. Packed arenas, international sponsorships, a global brand that extends far beyond Indiana. It's not a fantasy, it's a real possibility. And her announcement made one thing clear. If the WNBA doesn't step up, she's willing to take her talents overseas. As if that weren't enough to rattle the league, Caitlin dropped another bombshell. She's not making this decision alone. She's considering taking Sophie Cunningham with her. Now, for anyone who's followed the Fever this past season, that statement hit hard. Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin's protector, her enforcer, and her closest ally. Whenever opponents tried to get physical, Sophie was there to step in. Whenever the game turned chippy, Sophie was the one who calmed things down or fired right back. Their bond isn't just professional, it's personal. Caitlin trusts Sophie, and she made it clear she won't turn her back on her teammate. In fact, Caitlin publicly praised Sophie, calling her the ultimate leader and teammate. She said, "If I go overseas, I want Sophie with me." That single line flipped the narrative entirely, because if Caitlin goes to Europe, that's one star leaving. But if Sophie follows, that's two respected names walking away together. That's not just a transfer, it's a movement. Sophie Cunningham didn't waste time responding. In an interview shortly after Caitlin's announcement, she backed her up without hesitation. If Caitlyn isn't treated with respect, I have no reason to stay either. Those words weren't just solidarity, they were a shot across the bow of the WNBA. Sophie isn't some rookie. She's a veteran with credibility, respected across the league for her toughness and leadership. And when someone like Sophie throws her weight behind Caitlyn, people listen. The message is loud and clear. This isn't just Caitlyn Clark's fight. It's becoming a player-wide statement about how stars deserve to be treated. And here's where the ripple effect begins. If Caitlyn and Sophie were to bolt to Europe, what's stopping others from following? Players like Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart, or Arike Ogunbowale, stars who already spend their off-seasons overseas, could suddenly start prioritizing those leagues full-time. The WNBA has always worried about international competition, but Caitlyn Clark just turned that quiet concern into an existential threat. Fans are already imagining the possibilities. Caitlyn and Sophie lighting up Europe together. Packed arenas in Madrid, Istanbul, or Milan. Millions of new fans discovering them on a global stage. And meanwhile, the WNBA struggling to explain how they let their brightest star slip away. Inside league offices, the panic is real. Executives immediately began holding emergency meetings after Caitlyn's press conference. Sponsorships are on the line, TV deals are in jeopardy, the Fever's sellouts, the league's ratings boom. It all depends on Caitlyn Clark staying put. Without her, the WNBA risks losing the very momentum that has pushed it into mainstream conversation this past year. And let's be real, Caitlyn knows this. That's why her announcement hit so hard. She's not just negotiating for herself, she's forcing the league to reckon with its own flaws. Better officiating, stricter protection against dangerous fouls, more respect for players. That's what she's demanding. And she has the power to back those demands up. The basketball world is split. Some analysts believe this is a classic negotiation tactic, Caitlyn using Europe's interest as leverage to pressure the WNBA into making changes. Others believe she's dead serious about walking away, tired of the abuse and ready for a fresh start overseas. Even insiders close to her camp admit they aren't sure which way she'll go. And that unpredictability is fueling non-stop debates on ESPN, sports talk radio, and social media. Meanwhile, Fever fans are caught in the middle, showing up to games with signs begging her to stay, flooding her mentions with support, and pleading with the league to protect their superstar. But fans can only do so much. The real pressure is now on WNBA leadership. Do they make the changes Caitlyn is demanding, or do they gamble on the hope that she stays loyal anyway? Because here's the truth. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. She single-handedly boosted attendance, viewership, and merchandise sales. She turned the Fever from a struggling franchise into a sold-out arena every night. She made casual fans tune in. Without her, the league doesn't just lose a player, it loses its momentum. And Caitlyn knows it. Which is why, as she wrapped up her statement, she dropped one final line that left everyone stunned. My future, and Sophie's, might be bigger than the WNBA itself. Think about that. Bigger than the WNBA itself. That's not arrogance, it's truth. Caitlyn Clark's influence stretches beyond one league, one season, or even one country. She's already a global name. And whether she stays or goes, she's reminding everyone that she has the power to shape not just her own destiny, but the direction of women's basketball worldwide. So now the question is simple. Will the WNBA rise to the challenge, protect its stars, and give Caitlyn Clark the respect she deserves? Or will they watch her walk away, hand in hand with Sophie Cunningham, to dominate a global stage and leave the league scrambling to pick up the pieces? The countdown has officially begun, and the next few months will decide everything.